Hey everyone, today I'm taking a closer look at Canon's long telemacro lens for the EF system, the 180mm 3.5L macro. So, welcome to the video! Really happy to have you back. Quick thing before we dive in, if you're not subscribed yet, now's a great time to do that. And while you're at it, hit the little bell too. That way you won't miss any of my new uploads. It really helps support this small channel, so thank you. And as always, feel free to drop your comments, ideas, or any constructive feedback down below. I'd love to hear from you. The Canon 180mm macro was first introduced back in 1996. It offers up to life-size magnification, 1:1, meaning you can fill the entire 24x36mm frame with a subject that's exactly that size. This lens is ideal for photographing insects and small animals, where a long working distance is desirable, as minimum focusing distance is 0.48 meters. The optical design consists of 14 elements in 12 groups. 3 of those, the 2nd, 4th, and 11th, are made from ultra-low dispersion glass. They help correct for chromatic aberrations and keep the image sharp across all focusing distances. By employing floating construction, lens extension is reduced and aperture value fluctuation is minimized. It's a fairly substantial piece of glass, around 186mm long, 82mm in diameter, and weighing in at about 1,090 grams. It takes standard 72mm screw-in filters. Autofocus is powered by a USM, an ultrasonic motor, which is quick and nearly silent. And the 8-blade diaphragm helps deliver pleasing background blur. One really cool feature, it's compatible with Canon's 1.4 and 2x teleconverters. That lets you boost magnification to 1.4:1 or even 2:1, double life size. And when you use this lens on a mirrorless Canon R series body, even with the 2x extender attached, you still get autofocus, even though the maximum aperture drops to f7. Of course, the 1.4 extender works as well. And with that one, your maximum aperture becomes f5. Just one note, on older film-era EOS bodies, autofocus may no longer work properly with extenders attached. The lens comes with a tripod collar right out of the box, which helps keep the camera and lens nicely balanced when shooting on a tripod. If you don't need it, you can easily take it off. Mounting it back on is super simple. There's a red dot on the collar that lines up with the red dot on the lens. Once those are aligned, the rest is a breeze. This lens doesn't have built-in image stabilization, but if your camera does, you can still take advantage of it. Thanks to the USM motor, you can manually override focus even while using AF on. For full manual focus, there's a small switch on the lens, just like you'd expect with Canon gear. One thing that's definitely important, use the focus limiter. If you're not planning to shoot macro or close-up, you can limit the focus range to 1.5 meters to infinity, which speeds things up quite a bit. As you'd expect, autofocus performance drops noticeably in the close-up and macro range. In addition to the focus distance, shown in meters or feet, you can also see the magnification ratio, marked in orange. These values apply when using the lens without any extenders. If you do use an extender, you'll need to multiply the displayed ratio by either 1.4 or 2, depending on which one you're using. Before I share my take on the optical performance of this lens, I want to show you a few examples first, focusing on how the autofocus performs, especially in terms of speed. What's clear right away, if the focus limiter isn't active, this lens can't really keep up with traditional telephoto lenses like the Canon EF 200, f2.8L, or a modern 70 to 200mm when it comes to speed. However, autofocus performance improves significantly when you limit the focus range to 1.5 meters to infinity. A result that's totally expected for a macro lens like this. Of course, macro lenses are mainly designed for close-up and macro work, and they're optimized to deliver the best results at those high magnification levels. But that doesn't mean you can't use them for subjects further away, and this Canon 180mm also delivers excellent performance at longer distances or at infinity. Here, I'm showing you some unedited RAW files. Stopping down just a bit to f5.6 gives a noticeable boost in image quality. And honestly, it doesn't get much better than what you'll see at f8. If your subject allows for it, I'd recommend shooting somewhere between f4.5 and f9.5 for the best overall results. The only real weakness, in my opinion, is the wide-open performance at f3.5, especially in the corners, as you can see here. To correct for these optical flaws, lens profiles are available in software like Adobe Lightroom or Canon's own DPP. And those do a great job, especially when it comes to vignetting at wide aperture. Just look at the difference here. Distortion is also corrected very well, though honestly, there's not much to begin with. Unless maybe you're shooting architecture without any corrections. Here's another example shot at f3.5, this time from the center of the image, shown both with and without lens profile correction. Pretty impressive performance, right? Now let's get to the real strength of this lens, close-up and macro photography. First, I'll show you some unedited RAW files, straight out of the camera. Here's an example taken at f3.5. And here's how it looks at f5. And to wrap it up, here's the shot at f8. And here's one last close-up example, shot at f8, shown with and without lens correction. So, here's my conclusion. The Canon EF 180mm f3.5L is a fantastic lens, even nearly 30 years after its release in 1996. Mechanically, it's rock solid. And optically, still totally competitive by today's standards. If you're into macro photography and looking for this focal length, I can absolutely recommend it. And even for general telephoto work, it's a strong performer. As long as you're not trying to capture high-speed sports, this lens definitely earns its L badge. Finally, I'd like to show you a few Lightroom processed images that I recently took with this lens. Thanks so much for watching, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.